Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Matthew Sports Talk. Today's episode, I got my talking points over here. We will be talking about the Minnesota Twins in their past couple of games. We will preview the second week of the NFL season. I also go over something that I was going to go over last time, but I didn't get to, which is my NFL quarterback ratings, where I take each team's currently starting quarterback and rate them. Then a quick rundown of the NBA and the NHL. So the Minnesota Twins, they were frustrating on Tuesday night, where they lost 6-2. They weren't able to get the offense going. But last night, they were not frustrating. They were able to get the offense going with 3 home runs, or 3 Mambas, as I like to say. There we go. So you have 3 Bombas. 2 of them were 2 runners by Buxton and Sano, and then a solo by Rosario. And they won yesterday 5-1, which is good. Now, hopefully they can just string together some wins and hope that the White Sox lose a few, because I personally want the Twins to win the division, because if they do, they could very most likely end up as the number 1 seed. As of right now, the Twins would be the number 4 seed, and unfortunately, who's currently the number 5th seed right now? It's the goddamn New York Yankees. So yeah, it's like, I hope by some God intervention that we don't end up facing the Yankees this postseason, because I'm just sick and tired of them. So yeah. Might as well just do a little quick rundown of the MLB. Marlins beat the Red Sox 8-4. Nationals beat the Rays 4-2 in 10 innings. Athletics beat the Rockies 3-1. Dodgers beat the Padres 7-5. Cardinals and Brewers once again split a doubleheader. Cardinals winning the first one 4-2, and Brewers winning the second one 6-0. Reds beat the Pirates 1-0. Mets beat the Phillies 5-4. And yep, the New York Yankees' reason is that they're on a roll right now. They beat the Blue Jays 13-2. Royals beat the Tigers 4-0. Orioles beat the Braves 5-1. Rangers beat the Astros 1-0. Cubs beat the Indians 3-2 in 10 innings. D-backs beat the Angels 9-6. Giants beat the Mariners 9-3. So, then yeah, going over the playoff rankings right now. So if the season were to end today, the first round matchups would be the White Sox would be the number 1, and they would be taking on Cleveland. Then it'd be us taking on the Yankees. And then number 3 against number 6 would be Oakland against Houston. And then number 2 against number 7 would be Tampa Bay and Toronto. That's the American League. National League, it would be the Dodgers against the Giants 1-8, or 1 seed to the 8th seed. 4-5 would be San Diego, Miami. 3-6 would be Atlanta, Cincinnati, and 2-7 would be Cubs and Philadelphia. So that's just a little quick one down. So yeah, that's the Twins in the MLB. So now going to the preview the second week of the NFL, and an in-depth preview, or not. It's not going to be super in-depth, but still talk about the Vikings and the Colts. So, Vikings will probably have a little bit easier this week. Phillip Rivers is not as as good as he's been in the past. So hopefully our defense will be a little bit better. It's still going to be a little bit of a challenge because they still have receivers as like T.Y. Hilton that they're going to have to make sure that they get covered. But yeah, I mean, it should be a pretty good game. I think if the offense can get going right from the bat, and if we get a lead early, we can ride that momentum and hopefully win the game. So I will actually predict the Vikings to win. It'd probably be close. I would say probably within 6 points. But I do think the Vikings can win and get in the win column for week 2. So, and then going back to tonight's game, Thursday Night Football, Bengals and Browns. I really couldn't care less. Take my glasses off. I really thought it would make me look good, but I mean now I can see it creates a flare. So yeah, Bengals Browns couldn't care less, but I think Joe Burrow will get going, and I think the Bengals will prevail over the Browns. It'll still be a close game though, probably within 6. Cowboys and Falcons. I think I'll take the Cowboys. Probably I would say within 10. I'll take the Bills over the Dolphins, probably within 14. Bears over the Giants within 10. Steelers over the Broncos within 10. Packers over the Lions within 14. Titans over the Jaguars within, I would say, 10. Eagles over the Rams within, I would say, 6, yeah. 49ers over the Jets within 14. I'll take the Buccaneers over the Panthers within 10. I'll take the Cardinals over the Washington football team within 10. I'll take the Chiefs over the Chargers within 10. Ravens over the Texans within 10. Seahawks over the Patriots within, I would say, 14. And then for Monday Night Football, I'll take the Saints over the Raiders within 14. So, yep. That is my week. Those are my week 2 predictions. Yes, so now the NFL quarterback ratings. I'll actually start at the bottom of the list and go up. So I have all the way down at the bottom Sam Darnold of the New York Jets. This is where there are several young quarterbacks in the league that I feel sorry for because they're stuck with organizations who aren't making them progress as well as they should have. And then, yeah, Sam Darnold is one of those quarterbacks. So far, his career stats are 5,889 passing yards, 36 touchdowns, and 28 interceptions. So very, very close to that touchdown-interception ratio being 1-to-1, 36 to 28. So, yeah, it's 1.28 to 1. So, yeah, not that good. Number 31, Baker Mayfield. Once again, kind of like in the same line as Sam Darnold. He's got 7,552 passing yards, 49 touchdowns, and 35 interceptions for a touchdown to interception ratio of 1.4. So a little bit better than Darnold, but still not a whole lot. Number 30, Mitchell Trubisky. So, the Bears are, they go out and spend so much capital to try to draft Mitchell Trubisky early, and so far he just hasn't worked for you. And then this season you go out and sign Nick Foles. So people automatically assume, hey, so Nick Foles, you're signing Nick Foles. I'm assuming you're going to start him. But no, you're going to start Mitchell Trubisky instead. It's always like, you guys are kind of making people wonder. So Trubisky, 8,796 passing yards for his career, 51 touchdowns and 29 interceptions. 1.75 touchdowns to 1 interception. So better than Darnold and Mayfield, but still, it's not that great. Number 29, Tyrod Taylor of the Los Angeles Chargers. I kind of completely forgot about Tyrod Taylor. After Josh Allen took over for the Bills, I kind of wondered, where did Tyrod Taylor go? I think he went to the Colts. And now, I think because the Colts have Philip Rivers, he went to the Chargers. So, yeah, not very, sorry. I completely lost my train of thought. Not very stellar quarterback. I mean, he'll do the job. But, yeah, he's kind of, let me just see what his career stats are. Oh, wow. It's actually better than I thought. He is known for rushing the football and rushing touchdowns. Yeah, 16 career rushing touchdowns, 9,500 passing yards, and a touchdown interception ratio of over 2. 54 touchdowns to 20 interceptions. So he's actually not that bad. Unfortunately, he's just been known for being a backup for pretty much most of his career. So yeah. Number 28, Daniel Jones of the Giants. He's showing a little bit of promise, but still young, and he still has a lot yet to prove. Still. Number 27, Dwayne Haskins Jr. of the Washington National Football Team. Or is it just the Washington Football Team? I think it's just Washington Football Team. Sorry. Yeah, unfortunately, once again, a young quarterback on not a really great football team, so it still has a lot to prove. Number 26 on the Miami Dolphins, Ryan Fitzpatrick. This is obviously a situation that will change over time because Tua Tagovailoa will eventually take over that spot. Ryan Fitzpatrick is, like I said, a good journeyman quarterback. He helps out in a pinch, but can you trust him to get you into the playoffs and go deep into the playoffs? No. There's very few quarterbacks, journeyman quarterbacks, that can do that, and most of the time, sometimes it's just a fluke. A case in point, Case Keenum with the Vikings. I mean, when that happened, it was more about the weapons Case Keenum had than Case Keenum himself. So, number 25, Drew Lock of the Denver Broncos. So, yep, another young quarterback, and yep, still has a lot to prove. So, number 24, Joe Burrow of the Cincinnati Bengals. So yeah, I mean, obviously the sample size is small. He's only played one game, but he's looked pretty alright, pretty good. And that interception, I mean, yeah, it was a bad decision, but you learn from it. So, I think right now I'm comfortable putting him there. Number 23, Ryan Tannehill of Tennessee. I don't know. Yes, I understand the Titans are trying to move on from Marcus Mariota, but I feel like you overpaid him. I mean, and he's not really, I mean, yes, he played a factor, but how much of a factor did he play in your playoff run last year? I mean, you ran the ball most of the time. You won with defense and with Derrick Henry, who is an absolute beast, by the way. So I'm not sure if the money that you paid Ryan Tannehill was warranted, but, you know, these days it seems like you have to spend a crap load of money on a quarterback no matter who it is. So, number 22, Teddy Bridgewater, who's now with the Carolina Panthers, back in a starting role, which makes me, very happy. I feel like he deserves to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. But yeah, he, first time being a starting quarterback. He was starting quarterback last year when Drew Brees was injured for the Saints, and he did pretty well. So I think being on a new team, being the official starting quarterback, it'll definitely give him a chance to show if he has still got what he had before he got the bad injury. So yeah. Number 21, Gardner Minshew of the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is the case and example where a franchise that has been long bereaved of a really good quarterback. They had Blake Bortles, and for some reason they did well with them. I don't think it was because of Blake Bortles. It probably was because of their defense at the time. But now they're kind of like in limbo team because they've traded away most of their really good defensive talent. Jalen Ramsey, case in example. So I think Gardner Minshew is doing pretty good for where he's at. 21 is a good ranking for him. And someone disagrees with me, then whatever. But number 20, Matthew Stafford of the Detroit Lions. It's another guy who his career numbers are pretty good, but he just has nothing to prove for it. And I think it's because of the team he's on. The Detroit Lions can't do anything. You saw, if you did see part of the game against the Bears last week, their defense blew it, and you also threw a perfect pass that was dropped. That would have been the game-winning touchdown. So, not really on Stafford, but still, it's a problem. Number 19, Derek Carr of the Raiders. Derek Carr has been pretty decent, but once again, he's in kind of the same boat as Stafford, where, he has good numbers, but with the team that he's on, he just hasn't been able to do anything. So, there's that. Number 18, Phillip Rivers for the Colts. Phillip Rivers will get into the Hall of Fame, I feel like. He has those kinds of numbers, but he is one of those quarterbacks who is playing past his prime. I feel like he's not as bad as Eli Manning was late in his career, but I feel like he's heading there with the way he's throwing the ball and stuff like that. Number 17, Jared Goff of the Rams. Sorry, got a little hoarse in my voice. So Goff does all right, as long as the tools that he has around him are good. I feel like first game against the Cowboys, didn't throw for a touchdown. He threw one interception. I think he threw for 254 yards or something like that. It was mostly Malcolm Brown's running that won them, or that made the offense produce. So if he can get the ball to the correct players make him look good. So number 16, Carson Wentz of the Eagles. He should be higher than this, but unfortunately, most of his career has been played by injury, and even when he's not injured, he makes bad mistakes. First game against the Washington football team, he got sacked 8 times. He threw 2 interceptions. He just took unnecessary risks, which hurt him. So that's why he's stuck right in the middle of the pack. Number 15, Dak Prescott of the Dallas Cowboys. He's definitely one of those players where I feel like he's overrated. Can he be explosive? Yes. Can he be top tier quarterback material? Yes. Has he produced ways to make the Cowboys win? No. And this is what I've said about the Cowboys in the past. They have explosive players on offense, but they have very, very few times have been able to capitalize on those explosive players. So, 14, Jimmy Garoppolo of the 49ers. So, Jimmy G is in the same category as Jared Goff. He has to be able to use his weapons well for him to look good. So, that's why he's stuck at right in the middle of the pack. Number 13, Mr. Kirk Cousins of the Minnesota Vikings. When he's good, he's good. He does make errant mistakes, throws a couple interceptions every now and then that probably you could have very easily thrown the ball away or, ran with it. But for the most part, he's a solid quarterback. So, number 12, Cam Newton of the New England Patriots. I like Cam Newton. He's a great guy. But I don't think his playing style is conducive to a long career in the NFL. He's a very mobile quarterback, and he likes to run that way, but he has had injury problems, so I don't think he could continue playing that way and expect to play into his 40s like Tom Brady. So eventually he'll have to figure out how to make a change from being a mobile quarterback to, just being mobile for the sake of trying to escape coverage, or not escape coverage, escape pressure. But that might be a few years from now. So, number 11, the Steelers, Ben Roethlisberger. He is definitely one of those quarterbacks who's shown that age doesn't really necessarily mean rusty when it comes to throwing. I mean, his first game was he threw over 200 yards for 3 touchdowns. I mean, that's pretty good. So, number 10, Matt Ryan of the Atlanta Falcons. Once again, if he uses his weapons correct, it makes him look good. So, I think I'm just going to quickly run through the rest of these, maybe do like 2 seconds on each. Number 9, Kyler Murray of the Arizona Cardinals. So yeah, as you can see, a quarterback who uses his weapons well, like DeAndre Hopkins, and he can also be mobile and run the ball. So, number 8, Josh Allen of the Bills, showing progress. I originally thought he was not going to be any good, but you see what happens when you give him a good coaching staff who knows how to use him. So yeah. Number 7, Tom Brady of the Buccaneers. I don't know how many years Tom Brady thinks he has left, but I think he is pretty limited. Right now, he has a 2-year contract with Tampa Bay. I feel like one of those 2 years are up, he's done. I think he's like Max Kellerman always says, he's heading for the ravine. So I think that time will come eventually. Number 6, Drew Brees of the Saints. Still can put up some good numbers, but he did look a little rusty the first game of the season. So, number 5, Aaron Rodgers of the Packers. He definitely has a chip on his shoulder because the Packers drafted the quarterback. So, yeah, that's that. Number 4, Deshaun Watson of the Texans. Very, very potent quarterback. So, and then number 3, Russell Wilson of the Seahawks. Number 2, Lamar Jackson of the Ravens. And number 1, of course, my man, Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs. So, that's my NFL quarterback ratings. I don't know if I'll do this weekly, maybe every couple of weeks, see where they're at in the season, and maybe change some things around. But I think for now, at least for the next couple of weeks, I think that's the rankings I'll keep them at. I was going to do NBA and NHL one down, but I did watch part of the game 7 against the Nuggets and Clippers, and I don't know, it'd be pretty interesting, but once again, I still think we're heading for Lakers. What the heck? Sorry, that was my brother texting me. But yeah, I still think we're heading to the Lakers winning the NBA Finals this year. And the NHL, I believe the Stars advanced to the Dallas Stars advanced to the NHL Finals, or the Stanley Cup Finals. And blah, 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 blah. Don't care that much. And thank you for watching this episode of Matthew Sports Talk. I think my next episode will probably be maybe Sunday night after the Week 2 matchups, or maybe Monday night after, or Monday night after, or during the Monday Night Football matchup. But we shall see. So, until then, this is Matthew Hamilman signing off.